Welcome back to the Abundant Behavior Podcast. I'm your host, Ollie Banks. And on my platform, I like to bridge the gap from what the entrepreneur knows to what the everyday person doesn't. They say that the biggest gap in the world is between knowing and doing. And simply people don't do because they lack the knowledge or know-how.
Facts.
So what I want to do today is I got my boy on here, Esquire. This episode is labeled Music to My Ears simply because my boy is a producer. Overseas, in seas, next to the sea, out to sea. You know what I'm saying? He's still active duty, killing it. When I first met him, I didn't even know he was still active duty, man. I like to interview a lot of active duty and veterans just to see how they living afterwards. And I'm thinking, my boy out, he's still grinding inside and outside, man. We met, man, one day through my boy LH, man, at the studio. They was in there cooking up, man, and he makes the most timeless beats that you ever hear. Like, if you go through any of his discography, any of L work, man, the beats are timeless, man. I just want to pick his brain a little bit. Maybe it's some producers out there. Maybe it's people that want to get into music. Maybe it's people that want to fill some shoes just like his one day. So I wanted to pick his brain, see what gems he has, tell his journey, just to make you guys aware and get you 1% better. So before we dive too deep into it, I just want you to before we get too deep into it, I want you to tell the people who you are, what you do, just a little bit about yourself, right, then we get into it.
Esquire, man, music producer. I'm originally from Alabama.
For sure.
Been out here in the DMV about 15 years now, man.
Okay.
Doing this music thing for years, bro. I'm like 20 years in the game.
20 years.
20
That's
years,
solid.
man. So.
That's solid. To just go off that real quick, man. They say, man, a lot of people, they not willing to put the work in for them years. It might take years for them to reap the benefits of it. So the fact you just sat there and told me you've been doing this for 20 years shows how consistent you are and how serious you are and the love that you have for it, man.
Yeah, man, 20 years, you know what I'm saying? Trust me, I've been there. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
You want it to be
early
right
in the game, it's like right now, but that shit don't happen like that. You know what I mean? So, and with the consistency, just every day taking an hour. You know what I mean?
1 hour a day to just
an hour out of my day
craft.
just to hone in on the craft, man.
Got you, for sure.
The 10,000 hour rule, that shit is definitely real, man. I bypassed that completely, but that was something I was chasing.
Just those how many hours it take to master something.
Exactly.
Just 1 hour a day for a year straight, and you will be.
Yeah, you got it.
You got it. And I've seen that too, because I'm crossing over into another lane as well, like around the e-commerce space, just to learn how to market myself. But I'm learning something new every day from YouTube. You know what I'm saying? From the internet. But I'm like, man, I looked up 2 weeks. I know so much. It's just because I'm being intentional about every day. If that's what you want to be serious about, put that hour in. That's definitely true. I done heard that, man. So how did you start your journey as a producer, man? And what inspired you to become a producer out of all music lanes that you could have taken? Why a producer?
So I started as an artist first. I was an R&B artist like 2006, bro.
Okay.
Back when I was in college with the Tuskegee. You know what I mean? The only reason I got into production is I couldn't find a production that matched what I wanted.
Your style of work,
my style or what I heard in my head. So, took a leap out, man. Went and purchased the program. Like, I remember the first program I got was Reason. Paid $500 for that joint, man. Didn't know what the hell to do with it. You know what I mean? I just sat down and just dove in, got some books on it, tried to figure it out. But I think the first beat I made was like 20 minutes long.
Wow.
Like 8 different sounds. I didn't know what I was doing, but the fact that I had that many sounds in one beat only showed that you take it, chop it, now you got 8 different beats. You know what I mean? Focus on that and push it out.
Right.
So
for sure. Just to go back on what you saying, you said you at that time, man, you went and got books. This is 20 years ago, so you talking about a time where social media was nowhere near where it is today, where the access to information is unlimited, it seems like today. So what were the struggles that you dealt with trying to find the information around that time? Mentorship, was that like a key thing?
So mentorship was definitely major.
And do you like tell people, like, man, I think you should get a mentor? That's something that you suggest for people starting out, is getting a mentor?
Definitely.
How has that been pivotal in your career?
I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't for my mentor. Like, shout out to George Myers, man.
Shout out.
George Myers is a legend. You know what I mean? He gave me the opportunity, looked out for me, gave me a little game early in. But this man has worked with Michael Jackson, Mariah Carey, you know what I mean, Babyface, like all the top tier artists, and to take on a cat that, you know what I mean, just walks in your studio and is just like, listen to this is CDs. Listen to this CD of beats I got. You know what I mean? And took me on and told me my shit was trash earlier. Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like constructive criticism. This is what
Goes
you
a
do
long
better.
way for
It
sure
does.
though. Mm-hmm.
It does. But he definitely looked out, man. And
Yeah.
Get
you on the
shouts
right-
out JR. Yeah.
Get you in the right direction. So for those people out there who thinking like, man, I'm gonna do this on my own. I'm just get out the mud. It's gonna take you a little while longer, huh?
It will.
Yeah, and also the networking.
Yeah.
Like he in the studio cooking up with the greats. He like, man, I got my, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
My protege right here, man, he could cook up too, and that's boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's very pivotal. Just having somebody that can put you in these rooms they already walked in.
Right.
You know, I feel like a lot of people they look down at the youth or the people younger than them and hating when they should be because they're envious and jealous because stuff came to them a lot easier than it did for them.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's how it should be. Like it shouldn't be harder for the next generation. Theoretically,
shouldn't.
it
It
should
shouldn't
be hard and it should get easier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely dope. So do you have anybody you mentoring right now or are you just strictly working?
Multiple.
Multiple,
Man,
yeah.
Like it's so. I got about I say at least 15 producers now. I'm
Really?
actively mentoring.
That's dope.
You
That's
know
how
what I mean?
that's how you do
Text
it, bro.
Messages and hey, listen to this. What should I change and things like that. So
For sure, yeah.
they definitely reach out all the time.
Yeah.
You know, after hours.
Do you feel
2,
like
3.
teaching is a part connected to your purpose as well?
I
Giving
think
back.
so.
Yeah.
Like early in, you know what I mean, like just looking back where I started and where I'm at now, like definitely teaching, you know what I mean, as much game as possible
Right.
is pivotal.
Passing it through, and that's also leaving a legacy.
It is.
Whether you believe it or not. That work that they have in them,
Yeah.
that's 15 people that's gonna carry that forever, man. I
Yeah.
learned that from Esquire, bro. So
Yeah.
that's dope, bro. So was music a big part of your childhood, and how did you know what I'm saying, every black person, like hip hop is in every black person, so
Hip hop wasn't in mine.
really, so
Right.
how would you
Like-
introduce to music, and what artists did you listen to? Go into the why
So-
hip hop wasn't a part of yours at the time.
So my mother was on one of those singing TV shows in the early 80s.
Right.
But I came up in church, right? So
Mm-hmm.
gospel music was like a heavy influence for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Early in, you know what I mean? But I also was influenced and listened to a lot of like older music, like 70s, right? So my aunt had an 8-track, you know what I mean? She put the 8-track on while we cleaned on Saturday. Isley Brothers, The Whispers, you know what I mean? Like very, very like 70s centered, a little bit of 80s.
A lot of soul.
But I didn't really hear a lot of the new
And that
age.
and that makes sense as to why your beats sound the way
Yeah.
that they do.
Yeah.
They're timeless beats, and
Yeah.
it goes hand in hand with what L doing. It's so crazy how life aligns you with
Yeah.
the people that you need to get you to the next level, man.
Facts.
So from that point, so what made you say, man, I want to? So when was the shift from like church to hip hop to you trying to rap? What was the shift? Because when you were rapping, it was like conscious rap.
It was conscious rap, you know what I mean, starting out, but it was a mix of rap and singing. Like back then,
Okay,
nobody
nobody
was
was doing
doing
that.
it.
I feel like, man, Dirk was probably one of the first mainstream artists to kind of like present that rap singing like melodic sound. Obviously, you got Chris Brown who raps and sings, but
Yeah.
it's like one style, rap and sing
Yeah.
to combine. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
think that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So you was on real, and then you like, man, let me step behind this, and then you started to see like, man, behind the scenes is better than being in front
It
of the
is,
mic.
man. Like
Cause
I
the bread and
totally
butter is the producer.
yeah. I love to just go to the shows and stuff, you know what I mean, and sit back and watch the artists perform something that we did, and I could sit back at the bar. You know what I mean? Don't nobody know who the hell I am. I'm just there.
Right. You say that all the time.
I say it all the time. They up there getting all the shine, and I can sit back and just be like,
That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
That's a true mentor. That's right there.
Yeah.
It's how it's gonna take you a long way because you genuine.
Yeah.
You just got such a love for the craft that it don't matter who spill it out as long as that craft is getting
as
how
long
it's
as
supposed
good,
to be presented, man.
Yeah, as long as it's good, packaged perfectly, I'm good to
Yeah.
go.
So I mean, he said a gym right there. You guys probably missed it, but he said, you know, he sits back, he lets his mentees get all the credit for what he taught them. You know what I'm saying? But that's key because a lot of people they're looking for the transaction. Where's the money? How can I get paid? If you're in it for the money, it's not gonna last long. But if your heart is in it and that's what you called to do,
Yeah.
you're gonna be sitting on this couch 20 years from now doing the same passion. You know what I'm saying? Working with the same people, having the same accolades. So I think that's definitely dope. Just being in something
Yeah.
and loving it. You know what I'm saying? So what's like your creative process like when you're inside the studio?
Man,
you could say, how is it? Is it the
always
light, the mood, time of day, people? Like, how is it?
I'm a night owl, right? So definitely prefer nighttime sessions and things like that. When if it comes to music in general, like even now, like right, we doing an interview. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna get my wine, and I'm gonna sit back, vibe out to a couple songs, and then just cook up. You know what I mean? My process differs like every day. Some days I'll start with drums. Some days I'll start with melody. It depends.
Right.
It's all in how I feel. Like
Yeah. So I got a question, and it may be too personal, but not personal, but it might how L work. So all the beats on his tape, right? You produced them. So do you send him like beat packs and he just pick through them, or it's like no,
bro.
you can't. Can you talk on how that works, or
Yeah.
it's
So with L,
because
man,
it seems like every beat that he has fits every song.
Yeah.
Like it's perfect, man. So
Yeah.
how do y'all go through that process, man?
So with L, right? Like that was research on me, right? Like I took the time out as a producer, which I feel like all producers should do.
When you work with an artist,
yeah,
right?
with an artist. I listened to his whole discography. Right?
Wow.
I listened to every song he ever did, and in my mind, I was like, how am I gonna fuck up the game? And
With what he already got,
what he already got out is cool, but I'm trying to
enhance
elevate
it, right?
So how am I gonna do that? He already got the voice. He already, what I mean, he got the full package. So boom, let me just throw some soulful shit at you and see what you do, right? So I don't send him packs. I randomly send him stuff. It'll be midday.
And he cook up to it.
He cook up to it. Then we link up, get some work done. It's done. You know what I mean? We knocked that whole project out in like 2 months.
Yeah, which project are you referring to? Because y'all have
That was
a couple.
both.
Right,
So
both.
we got 2 Red Cup solos.
Right,
out,
Red
right?
Cup solo and then Red Cup solo
two.
2.
Yeah,
right.
Red Cup solo 2. So
Yeah, man, Red Cup solo 2. Camera shot visuals on the artwork.
Facts.
Well, I didn't edit the cover art, but I took the picture in the artwork. So
yeah, man.
let me not take the cover artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For sure. So that's pretty dope, man. You send him a beat, he cook it up. Man, so it just becomes like a connection at that point. So when you, as a producer, do you feel like you have to have interpersonal relationships with the people that you're working
Hands
with?
down.
It can't just be business. It can't just be.
You gotta know their life. You gotta know who they are. You gotta know their family. You know what I mean?
Right, for sure. And I think that would make the difference between good and great.
Yeah. You have to know. You have to know the person you're working with. You know what I mean? Like I'm very traditional when it comes to the music thing, the production side. Like I'm very personal. Right? I'm an introvert though, right? So
Right,
it's
no, for
hard
sure.
for me to do it, but like once I do it, it's just like I get in that mode and I'm like, fuck it. Like I'm already in. Boom. Like, how your day doing? Hey, what's up, bro? How you feeling? You know what I mean? How your mental health going today? Right. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah,
that shit go a long way.
Let them know that you care as well too, because at the end of the day, they might not be wanting to cook up that day, but they like, you know what, bro, really care about me. Let me cook up and put my heart in it. So, from the standpoint of maybe one time you didn't really get to know an artist, and the time you did, do you see a direct correlation on the relationship?
Down. Yeah.
And and like, what was it, if you could say?
Like, I'll say, like one of the artists I work with, she's in Miami. Right, like she's pregnant right now.
It's kind of hard to kind of keep that.
Right, she had a baby on the way. Right. The moment she found out, you would think that you reach out to your family first.
Right.
Nah, she reached out to her producer.
That's
Esquire. I'm having a baby, and I'm like,
that's pretty.
Congratulations. You know what I mean? Like this is major. This is big. Like, what's the name gonna be? And then she wants to name her daughter based off of one of the songs that we did.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's that direct correlation. It's like you gotta be personable, bro. Like that goes a long way.
Yeah, and it also it keeps business coming as well.
It does.
Because with anything, it's a referral based business.
Yeah.
If you can get in a good market of people with a good referral based business, bro, you will never run out of money.
Yeah.
You will never run out of business.
Never do.
You'll never run out of business, man. That's what's so important too. As far as being a business owner, is just like I always say in my last during the Houston tour, I said, man, just taking ownership.
Yeah.
How you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you know you the type of person where you slack off in this area, it's gonna translate to this area. So you gotta pick up all the pieces.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you just identifying like, man, maybe if I get to know these artists a little bit more on a personal level, maybe it'll take my business and it'll go to the next level, and it did.
Yep.
I feel like a lot of people be too afraid to just step on new ideas and get new ideas and see how they work for you.
Get out that shell, man. Like
So how was that for you, getting out the shell? What was that process like for you?
Oh, it was easy.
Okay.
Like, it was like me. Like I'll never forget. people would classify me as just R&B, right? When I started out with production, and for me, I'm like, well, I'm gonna try a trap project with somebody. I'm gonna work on a hip hop project with somebody. I'm gonna work on a country album. I'm gonna work on a pop.
Let y'all know I ain't in no box.
I'm not in a box. Like I will, like the ideas that come to my head, bro. I drop it. You know what I mean? Like I've done little like producer grind type things where you go out and you cook up on live and whatever, and they be like, yeah, cook up something, and I go in there and I make a pop beat. The audience is all hip hop, and they just sitting there watching me make a pop beat, just to throw everybody off. You know what I mean? But I don't want to be in that box. I want to be a like producer is a it's so many categories in that, and so many categories that you want to be able to chase if you want to do it. You know what I mean? So,
man, I've started to just call myself a creative, bro, because that's what I do. I create, man. I do photography. I have the podcast. I can shoot cinema. I can do weddings, bro. I can. Now I know how to run a podcast. This is in my back pocket now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm a creative, bro. I do whatever God put on my heart to do and to get the message out to his people. That's how I portray my art.
Right.
It's just like that. Like, I don't like being boxed in either. I don't like people calling me a photographer. I don't like people calling me a podcaster. I am the real Ali Banks.
Yeah.
And that's what I stand on, man. And this is what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is just what I do. And I love doing this, bro. I like sitting down, having conversation, like taking pictures, bro. So I just always the creative. So my next question is about the people that you work with. What is that process like? Do you work with anybody? Do you let anybody work with you? How do you find who you like to work with, and what is it that stands out about these artists?
So with social media now, you know what I mean, you can kind of see how people are packaged. You know what I mean, and if they are serious or not. You know what I mean. Like trust me, I get DMs constantly. Like let's work, let's do this, and I'm like, all right. Let me go to your Spotify page, boom. First of all,
see if you've been working on your own.
It's not even that. You don't even have the business aligned, right? Like I'm looking at the minute things, right? I'm checking credits. Are you crediting everybody that's a part of this project, or is it just your name on there? Right. You want me to work with you, but you're not even doing the
bare
basics.
minimum.
Do you have a PRO? Or you would be in my ASCAP? Or do you have the basic down? If you don't have the bases down, then no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But if you got the bases down and you got potential, then I'm willing to take time out of my life. You know what I mean? Put into yours.
And it's nothing cocky about what you just said.
No.
You know, some people may take it the wrong way, but business is business. But also, nobody want to work with anybody that's not serious.
Yep.
You know, your craft. If you're serious about your craft, you should know all those acronyms.
Yep.
I don't really know them all, but you should be studying the game. You should be studying the greats. You should be studying people that came before you, after you, inside. I mean, you know, people in your circle. Know the business. Know the inside and out. You're not just rapping. You're not just producing. You're not just a photographer. You need to know the business. That's what's gonna differentiate from you from one person to the next.
Yep.
Is if you're willing to go do that background work.
Yep.
Because a lot of people, they not willing to do that. Man, I just want to rap, bro. I'll leave that up to the label. I'll leave that up to leave it up to whoever. And then
if you leave it up to the label, man, you're missing out on your opportunity to know the insides and outs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's best to learn it all.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Being in the game for so long, man, what are some challenges you've dealt with coming up through the ranks and just with business or anything? Like something that you've seen constantly where you're like, man, this is just one of those things you got to deal with as a producer.
Splits as a producer, right? Like percentages. Percentages is always like a shaky topic. You know what I mean? It's something that people don't want to bring up, you know what I mean, during the process, right? But like that's the first thing I bring up. Before we even work, it's a 50-50 split. You know what I mean? I'm entitled to my 50. It's half. Because the time I invested to create this, when you weren't around or when you were around. Now, when you're around, it changes because you got input. But, like, splits is always something that definitely is a major, like black spot in terms of, like, production. Like, people don't ever want to talk about that, but you should.
Because, you know what they say, everybody want to be a boss until the bill comes.
Yeah, the bill comes, and it's like, boom. You know what I mean? Like, I remember a situation, man. I had an artist that I worked with, you know, out of Detroit, and, you know, sent me splits. Gave me 10%. And I'm like, what's going on with this? This is weird.
That's
Like,
that selfish.
I'm only entitled to 10%.
That greedy, selfish mentality will get you nowhere.
Nowhere.
This money that we have down here, man, this is God money. This is God talent. These are God abilities He put inside us.
Yeah.
Man, share that.
Yeah.
Be fair with people, man. That's only gonna bring, good business. That's all I like to run is good business,
man.
bro.
Good
I like to run good business, and man, people that you come across those type of people, but it just makes you aware.
Yeah.
If you don't come across these people, you'll never be aware of it. You know what I'm saying? Just like Judah in the Bible, man. They say everybody need them Judas around them.
Yeah.
It exposes you to know that, man, this world good, this world love, but it's people out here that ain't really genuine.
Yeah.
It's people out here that's still dealing with whatever they dealing with, and they don't really even care about the next person. They just in it for their own selfish gain.
Right.
So that's dope. You realize that early, and it's just, you know what I'm saying, it's one of those things, like, man, I can't wait to during or after the project. Now I gotta, man, before we even start, what we talking about?
Yeah, you establish that.
Yeah.
You establish the game plan early, man, so that on the back end you just able to just reap whatever benefit.
So is that, if you can say, is that something that you get in paper, on writing the split and everything like that?
It's all in paper, all contractual.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm signed. Like I'm a signed producer, so it's like my business is a little different than most. You know what I mean? Like, cause like being with Sony, right? Like they got the lawyers, they got all that already situated. So every situation I'm in, it's like,
You said being with Sony. What you mean?
I'm with Sony. I'm signed with Sony.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
I'm signed with Sony.
Was that inside the biography you sent?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How long have you been signed with Sony?
4 years now.
Dope, man. Congrats. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Signed with Sony. My boy Esquire, I didn't even know that. Okay.
Because I be low key. Like,
Yeah.
like, I
Can
do
you
things,
talk about how that came about, man? How that
So-
happened, man? You got to tell us, man.
Yeah, man.
Because I want to know now.
So Sony Music Publishing, right? That's what I'm published through them. So every record I do, I'm getting, publishing via Sony, which
Okay, yeah, because when you refer to the splits, I thought this was all your work behind it.
No,
Okay.
man, this is game I learned from
The big dogs.
The big dogs. You know what I mean? Like, this is game I learned. Like, when you in them situations, this is the things that they present you with, so that you able to
Combat them when it comes
combat
to
it and progress. You know what I mean? Like, you're not so stagnant. You know what I mean? They give you more game when you in them situations, when you in the rooms, when you go to these writing camps and,
Right.
and things like that. Like I always tell producers, go to writing camps. Please go to writing camps. It don't matter the artist. Go to writing camps and network with these people. You got people coming from Germany. You got people coming from L.A., Atlanta, New York, all in one space, and then you able to create with them, and they like what you're doing, so they gonna, like you
Finance
said,
it, give you game,
give you the
enhance
game,
it.
and then enhance it, and then network you out to other artists that
Outsource
they
you.
working with. They outsource
you for
You know
sure.
what I mean, they outsourcing,
Yeah.
and that's all it takes.
Man, it's crazy when you get on that higher level. You start to see how people just giving out game.
They
It's the
give it
people
out,
at the
bro.
bottom who holding everything to
They
themselves,
hold
bro.
it. Like, it's people at the top that's doing
Nah,
it
for
too.
sure. Yeah.
It is. Like,
Yeah.
I won't say it's just all everybody at the bottom like me. I give out, like,
Nah, for
the
sure.
only time I give out game is if I'm asked.
And when I say people at the bottom, don't take that literal. It's just the
Yeah.
people that haven't made it to where they want to in
Yeah.
their lane.
Yeah.
When I say bottom, because
Yeah.
I ain't at the bottom. I'm always at the top of my game. You feel me?
Yeah.
For sure. I just had to let the people know.
Let them know. You know what I'm saying?
For
Like-
sure, man.
Like, I was there. You know what I mean? And I would always wonder, like how's this person able to get to this position? Like, how are they able to do this? And then when all this happened, it's like,
So was your mentor the one coaching you, telling you to go to
No.
these right? So how?
No,
so tell the
bro.
people, how did you become so knowledgeable and knowing about these things?
studying, man, books, reading.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I'm,
Get in them books,
I'm
man.
an avid reader, right? But I'm not just reading just books.
Right,
I'm
you reading for a purpose.
I'm reading for a purpose. I'm reading things on music composition, music business, 101, you know what I mean? But also tapping in financial stuff too, you know what I mean? Because you got to be able to hold, maintain your money also, taxes and things like that. So I'm always willing to learn. Like, that was just me going to Barnes and Nobles, bro, sitting
for
in
sure.
there, get my Starbucks,
Yeah, man.
sit down on the couch on a Friday night when I could be out. I'm in a Barnes and Nobles in here reading, man, trying to figure out, like, what's the next move, right? Get a book on my digital workspace. I got my production software I got to learn certain synths. You know what I mean? When YouTube came out later in, going on YouTube, like you saying, you know what I mean, researching how to create sounds, things like music is so unlimited. You can't learn
You can
it
never
all, bro.
you can never stop
You can't
learning.
learn it. You can't learn it all. You know what I mean? And I want to get to that Quincy Jones level where I know enough to be able to, you know what I mean, function like professionally, like more effective.
To move how Sony move. You want all that. You want to be.
I want to be all in.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
And that's one of my things too, man. I started to realize. See, this is my thing about people that they don't realize. They'll see somebody millionaire at the top, right? You try to lay it out to them. They like, hey man, how you do that? You give them 5 simple ways how you did that. They like, man, it can't be that easy, and they'll never try.
Yeah.
What I've started to see is it is that simple. What they putting in these ebooks, what they're putting in these courses, what they're putting in these books, it works.
Yeah.
You just have to go out and try to implement it. Don't be afraid to fail. You don't fail until you give up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to fail. Go out there, read them books.
Yeah.
20 years from now, you can work with Sony producing it's just staying consistent and disciplined to the hard work and the grind.
Facts.
Falling in love with the process. Falling in love with just pushing out content. Like, you can't be transactional. Oh, I dropped the episode, man, they ain't doing nothing. I'm going to give up. Drop 6 more. They don't do nothing. Drop 6 more.
Yep.
Drop 6 more. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, when it's all said and done, I could say I have no regret. When it's all said and done, I have a podcast with probably 1,000 seasons, 2 million episodes that my son can go back to when he's 25 years old, 30, 40, 50, 60. When I'm gone, let me go holler. Let me see what my dad thought about this. Let me go see how my dad would have handled this. This is a legacy you leaving behind. It's not just content. It's not just money.
Yep.
You need to think about your great grandkids.
Yep.
Imagine your great grandkids pull up your discography, bro. My great granddad was, you know what I'm saying, overseas getting to it. My dad podcast getting to it.
Yep.
These was 2 greats. You sit back and you looking at the Bible. This is years ago. At some point, it's gonna be years past once you die. Eventually.
Yep.
Are you gonna be one of them ones that leave something behind? You gonna leave a will or you gonna leave a bill? What you gonna do?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Stay consistent to something. Nothing happens overnight.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You have to be really intentional about it. So that's really dope, bro. Because as of lately, I've just been working and not really thinking about the result.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you focus on the result, it'll get you frustrated every single time.
Yeah, you just gotta keep putting in work. Like the main thing is putting in the work. Like I don't, even when I'm at work or you know, doing what I gotta do. Like when I'm in the studio, when an artist walks in the door, like my mindset, I learned this from Kerry Gordy, right? I work with Kerry Gordy, great, right? Barry Gordy's son, Motown, right? Comes to the studio, sit in with me, give me all this game. He told me, the moment an artist walks in, it don't matter who it is, they walk in that door, you drop all that, you know,
ego at the
drop
door.
it all, because you don't know who this person will be or what this record will be 10 years down the road. You know what I mean? The moment the artist walks in the door, it's like, all right, we making a hit. I'm speaking that into existence as soon as they walk in.
Yeah,
all right, what's the hit today? Boom, we making something. All right, what's the hit? This gonna be on the tune. We gonna chart. We charting with this record. You know what I mean? But it's giving them that motivation to give they all, and then down the road, when you see it and you get a Billboard chart and work, it's like, I already knew this was coming.
Man, I'm so happy that when I walked in the studio, you was high energy. I really didn't feel like rapping that day, bro. We made a hit. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You was up front with me.
Yeah.
You was geek because I wasn't even having the best day. And that's just being a good person, bro.
Yeah.
That's just being a student of the game, being a student of the craft. One of my mentors, Timothy Wright, he says it all the time. The people that's too cool for school are broke.
Yeah.
The people that let their ego run them are broke, man.
Yep.
Scared to post content. You scared to try. You scared. You just want to fit in.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I ain't known that, bro. I'm not trying to be regular.
You're doing it for the looks, man.
And
it looks good. Don't get me wrong. Trust me.
regular.
I go back on my page. I look at my stuff all the time. I'm like, damn, that look good. But bro, it's a lot of work. Like, people don't understand. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of investment behind what you're trying to do. You got to invest in your craft. You know what I mean? So I done spent a lot of money.
Man, I have too
On
as well.
myself.
I haven't seen. I could probably seen maybe 10%
Yeah.
of what I invested,
Like I'm
bro.
saying. Like, trust me,
I'm talking about photography, podcast. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the whole nine.
Yeah.
Like, still haven't seen it, but I'm still working. I started photography in 2017, bro.
Yeah.
I'm almost 10 years in photography.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're not chasing it for that. You're
Man,
chasing it because you genuinely love.
Man, when
it.
this pop off, I got that photography. Man, it's man. Look, we about to go crazy.
Yeah, I already know. we gonna be down.
We about to look. We
gonna be
about
down
to
in Houston.
look. Hey, we gonna be out of here, man. We gonna be out of here. Me and Esquire, we gonna be on the man. Hey, look, man. Hey, man. You in a room with 3 broke people, you gonna be the 4th.
Yeah.
You in a room with 3 rich people, you gonna be the 4th.
Be the 4th, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I only hang with rich people.
Man, you know what I'm saying? And
that's it.
Yeah, for sure. And it for sure. And then it ain't even gotta be rich in monetary value. It could be rich in mindset,
mind, bro.
Rich in how you love, rich in just how you take care of people. Just be a genuine person, bro, and that'll take you a long way. So can we talk about you working overseas and then getting nominated for the Latin Grammy, correct?
Yeah.
For
Latin
sure. So how did
Grammy,
that come about and what was that story kind of about?
So randomly, right? Like I said, through network. I remember doing I was in the studio with another producer. This producer was based out of Brazil.
Okay.
We work on a song together. We just knocked the beat out or whatever. And he goes back home, reaches out to an artist. Artist calls me on WhatsApp, right? Don't speak a lick of English. Esquire, like music, let's work. And I was like, sure. Now, had I would have turned this opportunity down, like most people would, because it's like, why the
overseas
fuck you
language barrier, it's just,
you know what I mean?
it don't
like,
make
why
sense
you
to me
right
now.
It don't make sense. But I took it on and went through his discography. Like I said, that's my process. I went through and bro was a beast. I'm like, man, it's crazy. Like, it's pop music. So I'm like, oh, this is different. So
okay, for sure.
Let me try. It's Latin pop, so let me try something out. Knock some stuff out, send it to him. Went on by my business. I get word 4 months later that, you know what I mean, I get notifications. Like, I'm seeing, like, radio play in Britain. I'm seeing radio play in Russia. I'm seeing radio, like,
but it's getting too consistent.
It's getting consistent. I'm kind of like, what's going on?
It's going crazy.
All international.
Right.
No plays in the U.S. because he's a Brazilian-based artist. So I'm like, well, this is odd. And then you start seeing your royalty checks come in where you got your international money coming in too. So I'm like, oh, this is nice. You know what I mean? Like,
this real.
International money is amazing. So
because it converts over to more.
Yeah, man, bro.
I ain't even think Brazil too.
Yeah,
third world country,
yeah, man.
right?
Yeah, trust me. Like, so song take off in Brazil. He started doing his thing overseas. He go on tour. He's out in Great Britain. He did a show in Ibiza, Spain. He was all over. I'm seeing it. And I'm like, whatever. Because I'm working. I think at that time I was working on my solo project.
Just out here just grinding it out.
I was working on my own thing.
Not
so
focused on the results.
I'm not focused on. I'm just like, all right, whatever. And then I have Google Alerts set up with my name, right? So I get a Google alert, Latin Grammy nomination, Sin Agenda album, Best New Artist, Fernando Monk.
Wow.
And I'm like, and then read the article. My name is in the article.
He gave you credit too.
Terrence Esquire Huggins, and it's all Spanish. And I'm like, whoa, bro. So
this
particular night, I had a studio session to go do vocal lessons with an artist when I was in D.C. So I'm sitting in the session, and I'm helping this girl out, do a thing. Boom, at the end of it, my boy Tweezy came in, and he was like, all right, what we doing tonight, man? I was like, bro, I'm nominated for a Latin Grammy. I said it like that. I was like, I'm nominated for a Latin Grammy. And he looked at me like, nigga, you serious? I was like, yeah. But what we working on next, though? Like, I didn't soak it in until I got home. When I got home and laid down to go to sleep, I looked up and I was just like, holy shit, bro. I'm like, my name is changing right now. Like,
man, how was that feeling just knowing like this it's paying off? God is real. What was that nostalgic moment like?
When I started doing this, I never would have thought that I would be. First of all, I'm a boy from Alabama, right? I'm a black boy. I'm a black man from Alabama. To get a Latin Grammy nomination
that's big out of them small places. What part of Alabama?
Mobile,
man.
Yeah.
Mobile. You know what's crazy? Mobile got some people coming out of Mobile.
They do.
Mobile got a lot of
And
people
all
coming
the
out of
people
Mobile.
coming. This is the crazy part, right? All the folks coming out of Mobile, right? Like they were youngins when I was out there. You know what I mean? Like I came up in Rich Boy area, right? So when I left, Rich
Okay.
Boy was out. You know what I mean?
Boy,
We had
that. Hey.
man, we had it was this white boy. I forgot his name. But it was so many, like, Mobile got a solid sound. Like, the sound is dope. The South is just dope to me in general.
For sure,
like,
yeah.
Living up north.
About an A? Yeah.
Yeah, living up north, I've taken on a lot more of the northern sound and things like that. Like, my sound is not southern.
It's not at all.
You know what I mean? As
It's
it
not at
should
all.
be, but I know how to do it if it comes to it. But being up here, I don't work with a lot of artists down south like that, for real. So,
Okay.
but when the opportunity presents itself, then boom, I got something. But
So, yeah. So gearing towards the mental part of all of this, man, how do you stay mentally focused? Maybe you trying to reach a deadline. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, you can't get the beat right. Maybe the artist being a bug. Maybe you just not in the right headspace. Maybe work is draining you. Like, how do you stay mentally connected to the process and stay grounded in yourself?
at this level where I'm at now, it's a lot easier, I'll say. But the only thing that does suck is like deadline. Deadlines suck, man, because it's like we need this record in 2 weeks.
Right.
And now you feel like you're rushing things. Now you feel like, man, I didn't give my all, but this is the deadline, so I'm presenting it. You present it. You go to the label. You present the record. The artist does what they want with it and keep it moving. Then you listen back, and I'm hearing, things I should have done better. Like, that's the only bad part about it. Like, deadlines, to me, just trying to meet them, it's a lot easier because, like I said, I invest time each day to do something with it.
Right.
So it's
The
easy
hour
for me
a
to
day.
meet the deadlines. It's just
But when you have multiple artists, you're trying to reach
bro,
deadlines for it.
like, that's the situation I'm in now, right now. I'm working on 3 different albums right now.
Right.
3 different artists.
Man, how do you divvy up your time between all
It
the
is
studio sessions,
hard,
bro?
It's hard. Trust me. Like, you got,
That's why I didn't think you was still in the Navy, bro. I'm like,
Bro.
how the hell?
I go to work, get off,
Straight to the grind.
straight to the ground.
No time. It's no time for no play.
bro. By the time I go to bed, I get a couple hours of sleep. I'm back up. You know what I mean? Like, because the artists are calling me at 1 o'clock in the morning, leaving the club, right? They leaving. They
Got
leaving
inspiration.
The club, they got inspiration. So it's like, man, I got this inspiration, man. Listen to this track. All right, boom.
Damn, bro, you got 2 different phones?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm about to say I couldn't. The personal
Yeah,
phone would be
yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
So like, I'm getting that inspiration, and I always answer because it's. When
It could be
inspired,
potentially that
then I'm
time to
inspired.
go
I'm
crazy.
inspired too. I'm gonna get up, give me some coffee real quick, boom, boom, sit down and do what I need to do. But, you know what I mean? It ain't no sleep to it when
There's
you,
no
especially in positions like
In
this.
the
where
grind stage.
3 albums, like an album is 12 songs, bro. 3 different artists. That's a lot of songs. You know what I mean? Like you gotta. It's up to you. They waiting on you. It's like we waiting on you, bro. I want to get this done in 6 months. It's like, all right, but
For sure.
you know what I mean. Then you got to record, and then you got to engineer it and all that. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah, then you got to go through the rough draft, make
Rough
sure
drafts,
everything
yeah.
sound right. You might hear some that
Yeah.
sound off that you you got to
Yeah.
go back. So what artists have you worked with so far that was a challenge and you like, when I finally got through this project, man, it was a breath of
L.
fresh air and it was like, man, I
L,
did that.
bro.
Really?
Yes.
The most
'Cause
recent one?
Yes. L. I was nervous at first. I had to play it off like, no, I'm good, man. You know,
Yeah.
I'm about to send him some heat. But bro, I had never done nothing like that. Never. Working on that first Red Cup solo, never done nothing like that. So for me to get it done and sit back and be like, oh yeah, now we about to fuck him up with the next one. You know what I mean? We got to do another one. And I feel like this is a process me and him gonna be doing. Like, it's just gonna be we started a whole
Shoulder to shoulder. We just
shoulder
going to
to
rock this
shoulder.
out together.
We on some Currency Alchemist, Hit Boy like type. Like, we on some next level.
The Alchemist and Larry June.
Larry
That's my
June,
favorite
that's what we
duo. That's
on.
my
Yeah.
favorite duo.
Favorite dude.
The
His-
Alchemist and
shouts out
Larry June.
Shouts out Larry June. I was listening to the album on the way here.
That's my boy, the Alchemist
Yeah.
and Larry June. Go
Yeah, bro.
stupid. The
Like-
gas station run, one of my the gas station run
Gas
is
Station
Cardo.
Run was him and Cardo.
Cardo, yeah. Oh, so you a real Larry June
Oh, I
fan
am.
for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
already
Yeah,
here.
gas station
Yeah.
run, one of my favorite
Yeah.
albums.
But the new one, that Breakfast and Breakfast and
Salcedo? Oh no, he be having all.
Gold Sand.
I don't know all the titles yet. I've been
It's the new
fasting
record,
for music
bro.
in the car,
The
so
new
I haven't listened to
record-
a whole lot of
The
music.
new record, it sounds like something me and L would have done.
Got you. Yeah, it's
So, like, it matches.
When I
Yeah.
think of Larry June, I think of L.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I always tell. I said that in one of my podcasts. L reminds me of like Larry June, like the classical, timeless music.
Yeah.
I said it took Larry June a while to get where he is, but
Yeah.
when he popped, he stayed true to himself, and that sound, everybody love it. It's
Yeah.
it's cool.
It's
It's
smooth,
unk
man.
music.
It's
It's smooth.
smooth. Yeah, unk
It's yeah. What you say? Fuck that young shit. I'm on that unk shit, man.
Unk shit, man. And I'm a whole uncle, so I definitely appreciate it, man. You know, I
Appreciate
sit back
you,
and I
man.
be like, yeah, that's
We
this
need
my-
some more.
this
We
my
need something
vibe,
else
man.
with Cardo, man.
Yeah.
That gas station run was crazy,
Yeah, it was,
man. But
man. It was.
so, what's some advice that you can give to somebody starting out producing, man? Like, if you could tell well, you probably already said it, studying, but outside of studying the game as a new producer, man, he like, I want to take this far. What's some advice that you can give him right now that he can implement and it'll just
Don't
stick with
put yourself in the box.
him? Okay.
And when I say that, right, like as a new producer, right, like you already coming in with a mindset of, you know, this is the sound I want, right, which is fine, but don't be afraid to jump out of that. What your peers, the ones that you're around right there, like the artists that you affiliate with right there, don't be afraid to sit down and create something different. Do it on your side time when you on your own. You know what I mean? Because they probably gonna talk shit about you when you do it in their face. But like,
And then he's gonna mess up the whole
it'll mess up
workflow.
the whole workflow. But do it on the side to get that creative side, that side of your brain flowing a lot more. When you do that, bro, like
It
you
opened
get
up so
to a
many
point,
doors.
It opens up doors, but it also opens up your mind. Because the moment you sit down, you already
You start hearing stuff different.
You start hearing shit. I hear sounds. Like, I'm probably crazy, but
No,
I hear sounds.
Nah, you.
You know what I mean? Like Pharrell
a
says
gift,
it all the
man.
time.
Man,
Pharrell
you ever
sees colors.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah.
He does. He sees colors and he creates sound around that. All right, solid. Boom. I hear sounds. I go to bed and I hear melodies. So it's like, all right, should I go to bed or should I get up and create this melody?
Yeah, you know who's really like inclined like that? Who talk Kanye West, man.
Yeah.
He talks about the 808s, the beats, the snares, the drum. He can make. I've seen him. Like Kanye is, bro. Oh
Yeah, he's
my
a goat.
God,
He's a
bro.
goat.
One of my favorite artists growing up, bro. I had a CD player. I talk about this all the time. I had a CD player. I had 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying, and Graduation by Kanye West.
Yep.
And I bumped both them albums the whole time I was in 3rd and 4th grade, bro.
Yep.
Kanye West is a go. I don't care what nobody talks about.
Oh,
him.
he's
Nobody
definitely
can take away from the creative standpoint
can't.
that he did and how he shifted the culture. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. He's a thought leader, bro.
Yeah.
He says what people are afraid to say. He shakes the room, and that is a thought leader. You shake the room. You say things people are uncomfortable to hear, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't care who's offended by it. It makes sense, man. He'll go to my eyes, man.
Yeah. Well, he definitely
For
is a
sure.
goat, man.
So where do you see your career in the next 10 years, bro? At the 30-year mark, man.
Actually,
ain't gonna lie, we going up.
Actually, winning. I want a Grammy in my hand. I got so many buddies that have it right now. Like I was in Atlanta.
Real, that's so
And
dope, bro. It's so
you know
dope
what
to
I
be
mean?
that close. So you
Actually-
know exactly what you need to do.
I know what I need to do.
That's
right?
dope, bro.
But the approach I'm taking, right? Like I don't work with a lot of major artists, right? I can, but major artists ain't as hungry as the independent artists are, right? They don't have the same ideas. Independents like set the culture. They make the waves. You know what I mean? That the major labels go in and try to emulate.
For
Like,
sure.
So for
that's
me,
a gem right there, bro. You giving
yeah,
game.
for me, I wanna build with somebody from the start
to the finish.
to the finish. You know what I mean? If I win one, I win. If I don't, I don't. But I got very close by having
But you're
nomination.
working with 15 and 16 people now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Putting your
yeah.
heart into it.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
God
it's
gonna bless you
something gonna
tenfold.
happen. Yeah. Like the streaming wise, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We doing numbers. We
got
gotta
the
do.
accolades. We
got
just
the
gotta get it in.
accolades.
Get
we
it
just
in
need the goddamn trophy in my hand.
for sure.
You know what I mean? To be able to be like, all right, boom. All right, now after I get the trophy, it's like, all right, what's next? You know what I'm saying? So that's not even like a chase because there's always something next
Always.
that you should always push to try to, you know what I mean, achieve. So, yeah, 10 years on the road, definitely having that trophy in my hand. You know what I mean, get me a crib out overseas somewhere, set me a studio up in the
Relax.
basement. You know what I mean?
Right.
Invite all my boys over.
Oh yeah, we going
y'all
up
come over.
podcast
Boom,
overseas.
go overseas.
The 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Pull up. Boom.
6 Grammys. Remember you said you wanted 1? It's 6. It's 6. That's how God works.
Yeah.
Whatever you want for yourself, God wanted 10 times, 100 times more.
Mm-hmm.
I be telling people, man, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid, man.
Yeah.
Do not be afraid to take that leap of faith, because behind that door of the unknown is where most of your blessings lie.
Yeah. The unknown is scary though, man. Like,
it is.
But you gotta, like you said, you gotta jump in on it. Like, you know what I mean? I remember, what was it last year? I got invited to Stankonia Studios in Atlanta. And, you know, going into that studio, first of all, like walking up and seeing it, I was kind of like, my heart racing. I'm like, damn, man, this is what Outkast work, bro. Like, this is about to be crazy, right? And then you don't know the artist is there, so I go in and meet the artist. Shouts out Sunny ML. You know, she dapped me up. She's like, hey, you know, I heard about you. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get some work done. Da, 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 da.
For sure.
Go in, create something. By the time you sitting back and listen, it's kind of like, all right, like I'm in the room, bro. Like I made it to the room, and I'm in here. I'm chopping it up with Renegade. I'm chopping it up with goddamn Zaytoven and all these folks, like the ones that made it, and it's like they talking to me like a normal human being, which I am, but it's kind of like, y'all are human beings. Y'all put y'all pants on just like me.
Yeah, that reminds me of the time that, you know, me and my boy, he make music, and we went to go meet Boosie in Richmond. Yeah. Took some pictures of him, met him afterwards. He let Boosie listen to his music. Mm-hmm. But I was starstruck. Obviously, it's little Boosie. This Boosie. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But talking to us like a regular person. Yeah. I'm talking about we shoulder to shoulder. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, that God showed me you're not too far from where you're trying to get to.
No.
You're not too far from where you're trying to get to. That's all that told me. Like I'm meant to be in these rooms. Yeah. When I was in there, I'm like, man, ain't nobody doing what I'm doing in these rooms.
I'm gonna eat the cheese and crackers that's on the table.
Man, come on, bro. That was, you can never attract what you're not exposed to, bro.
True story, right? Currency did a show out downtown Norfolk, and my boy from New Orleans, his boy is the drummer. Currency, right? So we get invited in, we get the VIP treatment and all that. First of all, I'm in the music video, right? Like, shot a whole video for the show. No, I'm in the video. Like, I'm there. Like, 3 times, bro. Like, my face is there. So people, when they saw the video, it was like, he looked for me. People DM me, message me, like, bro, are you? That's me, right? But, like, Currency, like you said, bro, like, I'm in there eating the chips and crackers, like, whatever's on the table. Oh, y'all got pepperoni pizza. All right, I'm gonna eat this pepperoni pizza. I'm in there.
You got to accept being in that room, bro. You've been asking for it.
Currency walk by me. What up? What's going on with it? Boom. Keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like, it's normal. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but down the road, when they see you later, when you've made it, or when you came up in time, they remember you. They remember them exact moments. You know what I mean? They remember when they saw you and how you acted at that moment. You know what I mean? If you go in all fangirl and boom, and then down the road you make it, they're going to kind of be like, yeah, you know, congratulations. But if you go in, you confident, like, what up?
That's how I was with Boosie, bro. I'm not going to lie, because that was my exact thoughts. I'm like, I'm not finna act fanned out. Yeah. I'm going to acknowledge his presence, let him know who I am, take pictures. I'm going to fall back and let my boy work. Yeah. But like you said, I hear so many stories about all the comedians that came up in the Crowns of Comedy. They were all up and coming together. Yep. They all know each other because they was all grinding at the same time. Yep. Just like I'm grinding right now, L grinding, all the underground artists grinding. 10 years, somebody going to be big. And it's going to be like, I remember when you was doing it. That's how it's going to be, bro. It's so dope. Yep. How do you deal with conflict between, like, team members and artists, man, when it's like, it hit the fan and it's like, man, like, bro, like, all right, we not saying eye to eye right now. How do you deal with those situations?
That's when the other side of me comes out, right? I had a situation.
Real more assertive?
Yeah. I had a situation come up because it was kind of like, I don't think you know who I
am. Sometimes you do got to pop your shit, bro.
Because normally I don't. Like, normally, like, the thing is, it wasn't the artist. It was his manager.
Right. You know, the manager's always trying to take the lead. They always doing that.
Yeah, you ain't got nothing to do with all
that. They always doing that,
Not knocking managers. Shouts out to managers.
Yeah, not for sure.
Y'all do make things happen and things shake, right? But, like, when your artist is in the mold and they're in the studio with somebody they working on,
let them do their craft.
Let them do their job.
Right.
That's it. this situation, I'm in DC. I was working with a African artist, working on Afro beats.
Mm-hmm.
And he just chiming in. The artist sitting next to me, he just like, I wish he just like, I'm sorry, Esquire. I'm like, no, it's cool. He kept chiming. I'm like, yo, bro, like, either you gonna step out
Or shut up.
Right? You only got 2
bro,
options.
hey,
Right?
2. Look,
Now,
I hate people breathing over my shoulder while I'm trying to work. I hate it. Bro. I hate it.
Yeah, I said it loud enough because I'm downstairs that my boys upstairs heard it. So they come downstairs like, what's going on in here? Like, are you bothering Esquire here and here trying to work?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can go step outside. Like, these, you know what I mean? He was just like, I'm going to go outside. And me and the boy end up making a hit. But, like, that was one of them situations. It's kind of like, bro, like, you doing too much. I know you excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Y'all came in with all your Timbs on and Cuban links and boom, 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 boom. I'm in the studio with sweats on, flip flops,
Chilling.
T-shirt. I'm in here to work. I'm not here for a show. Y'all got the cameraman here, so of course you want to get camera time and pop off. But it's kind of like you ain't got to do all that, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that was one of them situations, man.
Okay, for sure. So you just had to let them know, like,
I was like,
So I mean,
you got
but
2 options, bro.
Yeah,
like,
sometimes, man, you got to put like the business to the side, and let people know, because people will try to run over you.
Yeah.
Talk crazy about it. Hey, let me come in that session and nah, this is my studio session, bro. We ain't doing that. That's a part of taking ownership of your business, though.
Yeah.
That's the part of taking ownership. Like, all right, I gotta own up to this situation that's going on right now.
Yeah.
Because I know if I own up to it, it's gonna make me and the artist have a connection, and that's what I'm here for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I'm definitely always there for the artist, man. Like, everybody else is just, you know, I know they're a part of the team, but when it comes to this particular mode of what we doing, it's me and that artist. That's it.
Is it a lot of money that goes into your projects? How do you balance like payment constraints and like just trying to meet deadlines?
Yeah, so when you're working on albums, definitely a lot of money in that. But if you don't meet the deadlines, you know, you get certain cuts and things like that. So, you know, definitely the moment I find out about it, like when I meet an artist and I'm in, that's why I ask the hard questions early. You know, like, all right, what are we doing? Send me I even task them, send me a playlist of songs you've been listening to the past 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. I just want to hear 2 weeks of what you've been hearing. That way I can go in and dive, because you've been listening to these songs continually.
That way it ain't gonna waste no money. We ain't gonna waste no time.
We ain't wasting no time. So now I got a sound of how I wanna present myself, you know, and present the sound moving forward because of what you've been listening to. So it makes life easier. I can go in and just create, and you know, time constraint wise, we good to go.
So just doing that homework on the artist.
Gotta do your homework.
Because you say that a lot, bro. You do a lot of homework before you sit down with an artist.
Yeah.
Just like me, you know, I told you, send me your autobiography if you got one. Especially when you said you had the Grammy. I was like, man, let me know everything so we could talk about everything to give the people exactly what they need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?